Hey guys, it's Rachel and how's it going? No, corny. Okay, fine. Let's just talk about rent. Mahirap talaga maghanap ng place when you're moving to another country. And by far, this is the biggest challenge and the biggest expense that you'll ever face if you decide to live in Vancouver. So, if you're eyeing to live in Vancouver, tingnan muna natin yung cost of rent before you decide to move here. So with that, in today's video, I'll be sharing number 1, the average monthly rent of the top 7 neighborhoods here in the Greater Vancouver area. But before I share the price, I'll first highlight the pros and cons of renting around that area, just to give you guys an idea of why the price point is either high or low for that particular neighborhood. Also, I'll be limiting the scope of this video to unfurnished homes, just because most of the rental listings that you'll find here come unfurnished. And lastly, to cap off this video, I'll be sharing some helpful tips on how to help you cut down on your rent expense. So with that, wag na natin patagalin guys, and simulan na natin. Okay guys, let's start with number 1, which is Vancouver, specifically the downtown area. Local or not, everyone wants to live here. Everyone wants to experience the urban lifestyle that this city has to offer. Just because this is Greater Vancouver's most hip, most thriving and popular neighborhood. The beauty of living in Vancouver, especially the Downtown Vancouver area, is it's smack in the center of everything. This is where you'll find a lot of art galleries, sports stadiums, shopping centers, the largest public library, and other main attractions such as Science World, Stanley Park, and Robson Street, which is a famous food and shopping street located in the city of Vancouver. To me, if this were a city in Metro Manila, this definitely screams Makati or BGC. Cons. So because this is a highly coveted city, the closer you are to downtown, the higher the rent prices will be. In my opinion, I feel that the rent in this particular neighborhood is just ridiculously high. You'll be paying so much for so little, considering that the living spaces here are small on average. Monthly rent for a 1-bedroom apartment here averages at $1,900 per month, 2-bedroom at $2,800, and a 3-bedroom at $3,500 per month. So yeah guys, this is extremely high. Okay, number 2, let's talk about Burnaby. So whenever I think of Burnaby, I always think of Metrotown. I'm always there because I used to work there, and it kind of reminds me of Mega Mall back in the Philippines. Another thing that I like about Burnaby is their massive developments there as well. So you'll notice that there are a lot of high-rise condos being built there now. And even better, they're being built next to SkyTrain stations or right beside transit, which means that the convenience of reaching the downtown area will take no less or no more than 30 minutes. Burnaby generally has a lot of greener parks, and the space feels much wider compared to living in the downtown area. Generally, Burnaby is a safe place to live in, and if I were to choose where to start my roots, I'd definitely go here. Places worth visiting there, like I mentioned, Metrotown, a famous shopping center found in Burnaby, Deer Lake, which is a popular walking trail, and Burnaby Park Mountain. So you'll get the best panoramic views of the Greater Vancouver area from this viewing point. If I were to compare this to a city in Metro Manila, this kind of reminds me of Quezon City. Cons. So because this place is thriving, especially with their new developments, expect that the rent prices will increase later on. Traffic is bad there as well because you're surrounded by all these big malls next to very narrow streets. So if you're driving there, expect the traffic to be bad. Lastly, because it's still a semi-suburbia area, expect that the nightlife there does not exist and basically everything closes at 9 p.m. Monthly rent average for a 1-bedroom apartment there costs $1,700, a 2-bedroom at $2,400, and a 3-bedroom at $2,550 per month. Okay, number 3, let's talk about Richmond. I know them most for their Richmond night market. So guys, every mid-May to mid-October, Richmond sets up the night market where a lot of vendors come out there to sell ethnic foods, gadgets, trinkets, and even clothing. And guys, like, speaking of food, the food in Richmond is just superb. There's a cuisine for every culture, so whether you're looking for Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Indian, or Greek food, Richmond has it all. For my shopaholics out there, good news because Richmond also has the MacArthur Glen Designer Outlet. So there are a lot of big brands out there such as Kate Spade, Michael Kors, Coach. They even opened Aritzia there recently. And you can shop to your heart's content with discount prices of 50% or more. But if you're looking for a naturist place to visit and live in the Richmond area, good news because they also have Steveston Village. So Steveston is a famous fishing village, and whenever it's in season, I think around mid-May to June, they have the crabbing and the spot prawn season, which is definitely worth checking out. Generally, Richmond is also a good place to start a family, and the commute there to downtown is quite fast because it only takes about 40 minutes or less. If this were a city in Metro Manila, this definitely reminds me of Pasay City. Okay, now for cons. So Richmond, I feel that the transportation infrastructure could be better. I have a friend that lives there that I often quite visit, but I always somehow have to sleep over at her place because I dread waiting for the bus to arrive, which the waiting time can range between 10 to 45 minutes. I also feel that I only have like one or two options, which is a bus, to kind of help me get back home. So yeah, I feel that the transportation system or infrastructure could be better. Richmond in general is a beautiful area, and I feel that it can be quite hectic during the spring and summer time. But when fall and winter come around, I feel that it's a bit dead. No offense. But yeah, the activities there are quite limited during the colder months. Monthly rent average for a one bedroom there costs $1,600, a two bedroom at $2,200, and a three bedroom at $2,700 per month. Okay, number 4, it's Surrey. Or that's what at least they tell me to say it as. Kidding aside, rent in Surrey is by far the cheapest that you'll ever find in all of the Greater Vancouver area. And I feel that the cost of living there is less expensive than most cities here. You'll also find a cool mix of young people, of big families, and immigrants settling their roots here. I also noticed that there is a large Filipino community down there, and that is why I enjoy visiting the Surrey area. In all the places found in Surrey though, I always love going to White Rock. White Rock basically has this large pier that like stretches to the middle of the ocean, or at least that's what I think. But it's really wide and it's really long, and I enjoy all of my afternoon walks there as well. Other places that I visited in Surrey is their Guildford Mall, which kind of reminds me of Metrotown just because they have a lot of hip shops in every corner as well. You will also find the Simon Fraser University campus there, and it's really nice. I visited the area and it's just amazing. This, especially for international students, encourages you to really study and really dream big. If Surrey were a city in Metro Manila, this kind of gives off the Caloocan and Novaliches vibe. Okay, now for cons. So, Surrey is quite notorious for having a lot of drug crime, violence, vandalism, and theft. No big deal. But honestly, guys, in the multiple times that I visited the area, I didn't really see it, and it's not as apparent as people make it out to be. Of course, it's still doesn't do any harm being cautious around the area, but this is just what they say about Surrey, just to let you guys know. Surrey is also mostly suburban and rural farmland with a bit of shoreline, so if you're more into the concrete jungle, the urban lifestyle, then Surrey may not be for you. Surrey is also quite far from downtown, so if you are working in downtown but live in Surrey, it's highly advisable that you have a car just because the commute is just too far and not worth it. Monthly rent average for a one bedroom here is at the lowest at $1,350, for a two bedroom at $1,750, and a three bedroom here at $2,200. So guys, just for a comparison, a one bedroom apartment in the downtown Vancouver area can afford you a three bedroom apartment down by Surrey. So guys, alam nyo na, use your money wisely.